Good morning. Welcome back to coldwaters.mod.
Con, helm, steady course.
Yeah, there you go, a steady course. Today, we're in HMS Repulse, that is S-23, a British SSBN, and our mission is really straightforward. We need to get to deeper waters and escape our Soviet comrade tail. Let's bring up the map and show you what's going on. Right, like so. Okay, so here we are. Now we have not long left port down here, and even though a U.S. Navy skipjack conducted what you might call a sweep of the area not that long ago, it appears that they either missed a Victor 1 or Victor 1 kind of snuck in. So our objective today is to really escape, and ideally to go to the very top left corner, or at least the left-hand edge of the map, without getting sunk. The Cold War has gone hot, but we are not really an aggressive, well, not really, we are not an aggressive boat. We are an SSBN. Our primary mission is to carry the Polaris nuclear-tipped missile and shake our fist, as we Brits often want to do, at the Soviets. Leave our little island alone, you rotters, you rotters. Yeah, and it appears that this Victor 1 has got other ideas. So, I mean, where do we go from here? Well, the key thing is, we really need to, stay out of trouble, in the words of Robocop. So I'm going to try something. I'm going to put my depth up to periscope depth. We don't believe he's tracking us. I think he's just sniffing around the area and probably thinks that, hey, if a skipjack was sent out, then maybe there's something going on. Now, the Resolution, as well as a whole bunch of Polaris missiles...
200 feet. Make depth 40 feet.
Let's go ahead and get my periscope depth set up. As well as carrying a whole bunch of Polaris, we also carry a lot of other weapons. Now, we can carry the harpoon. We're not carrying any today. And this implies we can also carry the Mark 8. We're not carrying any of those either. A Mark 8 is an anti-ship missile. If I'm using the Resolution to sink ships, I'm boxed into a corner. That's not where I want to be. We are carrying lots of Tigerfish, the Mark 24 Mod 1s. They are not the most effective weapon, let's just say, but they can take on a submarine or a surface ship. And some Mosses. We've actually got 6 Mosses, 2 loaded in the tubes and 4 ready to go. So a weapon load, that's a lot of torpedoes we can bring to the party. But let me just make something clear. This is not an agile or maneuverable boat. In fact, really quite the opposite. It takes a good time to turn. Let's look at the dimensions of this thing. So we're 170 meters long and we're 30 meters, I think that's the girth, circumference. I'm not entirely sure what the second measurement is, but let's compare that with this Victor 1. Yeah, we're roughly twice this length, and we're a bit chunkier. He's 6,000 tons, not a small attack boat by any stretch, but we're 3 times the size. Now,
dive at 40 feet, dive high.
There we go. We've got a reasonable sensor suite on board, and we do have a towed array, which is very useful. Our speed is only 25 knots. That's not great. Our depth is 1,300 feet, so we don't have the same depth benefit as the Valiant class upon which the Resolution is based on. So we can't dive down to nearly 2,000 feet to avoid any of those nasty little kilo-dropped torpedoes. But we shouldn't, hopefully, need to be doing that sort of thing. Well, I'm going to go ahead and pause this. I'm going to make this mission a little more exciting if it really isn't. But right now, I want to grab some coffee, I'm going to grab a snack, and just try and put a bit of distance between myself and this Sierra 1. I'll be back. I have no idea what this Victor 1 is doing. It's like It's like he's trying to clear his baffles, but he's doing 20 knots. I have no idea what he thinks he's doing. And I'm a little uncomfortable. That trawler he's next to is a friendly trawler. I wondered if it was a Russian spy trawler, but it's really not. So I don't really have the inclination to tangle with anything, really. But what is he doing? And we are on a bit of an interception course, so part of me is thinking, do I just make a run for it? Maybe not a run for it. Do I just keep on going? Maybe bump my speed up from 5 knots. Part of me was tempted to maybe turn north and see if he will go out in front of me and sneakily get a bit of a baffle shot on him. And then I thought, well, actually, no. Let me turn more towards him. Because if he's conducting maneuvers, then maybe there's a reason. Maybe that other skipjack is still sniffing around out here somewhere. I just can't detect him either, which might seem a little unlikely, but you never know. So I'm going to accelerate time. Just going to see if he's still doing whatever he's doing. He's at 600 feet. Still maneuvering. Very bizarre. I'll show you what I mean if I flick to the view of his submarine. Well, he may have straightened out a little bit. Okay, he's turning the other way. Yeah, I don't know what he's doing. Let's flick back to the map. It is tempting just to accidentally drop a tigerfish at him. Especially seeing as I've got a trawler overhead. And soon that will be overhead, so I'm tempted to just go ahead and do that. Now, it might end in tears if he counterfires, which he should do. What was that? You hear something boom? Not the trawler. Maybe I just imagined it. I don't know. Maybe, yeah, maybe it was nothing, but I thought I heard something blow up. Or go boom boom. Well, in the interest of making this a bit more of an interesting video, I'm going to go ahead and fire upon this guy. I think life is too short not to. We're at war with the Soviets right now. So yeah, I want to get something off. I want to fire something at him. So as soon as he can't detect the launch, I'm going to go ahead and just dump it, do it, fire it, I should say. And I think I want it to be about here when it goes active. Come on. Come on. Okay. There we go.
Shoot 2-1. Aye, sir.
That's launched. I'm going to go ahead and run to 15 knots. And get my towed array in.
5 knots.
So I've got a bad feeling about this. I'm going to turn my torpedo east. I want to put as much separation between myself and this torpedo as I can, because when this guy detects my torpedo, and he surely will, it's probably going to go active, in fact. Go ahead and just turn a little bit north.
Right 2, 3, 4, 3, helm aye.
I'm going to lose right now where the enemy contacts are. That's okay.
Con maneuvering, making turns for 15 knots.
If he...
Con fire control, we've lost the wire.
Ah, that's the worst thing that could have happened. Okay, that's really bad. Well, okay, it's not really bad. It could be worse, but now there's a torpedo heading...
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1, last bearing 174. Contact is in the...
Now there's a torpedo heading east that has got no purpose other than just to... I don't know what it's going to do. But either way, the Victor's going to detect that torpedo, and it's going to detect me, or maybe active ping. So I'm going to go ahead and reload. Okay. I wanted to make this more exciting, but this isn't what I had in mind. I'm going to drop my speed. Yeah, I actually tutted. Okay, let's go ahead and drop my speed.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
Come left to 235. Helm I.
Let's turn up port, and I may end up. Let's drop out of
Con
ultra.
sonar regained contact on Sierra 1, bearing 176.
I really would like that torpedo to reload. So in ultra quiet, your crew stop working on the machinery. Okay. Okay, so he's still doing 20 knots. He hasn't accelerated, so I guess he doesn't think it's a threat. Maybe. Should have known better than to think that the Tigerfish would happily let me keep steering it, especially if I changed course and speed. Oh well.
Con, torpedo room, tube 1 ready.
It's got
Rig ship for
loaded.
ultra quiet.
Here we go for ultra quiet. See how slowly this thing turns. Let's flick back to my submarine. Yeah, it's not an agile boat. It doesn't need to be. It's so enormous. And it has plenty of weapons. It's just you can't turn very quickly to get out of the way of anything. Still, could be worse. Now it reckons he's 8,000 yards. Let me accelerate time for just a little bit. He may not have detected that torpedo. Well, guess not. I'm concerned the game is afoot, so I'm firing another one at him.
Shoot tube 2. Aye, sir.
And this time, I'm gonna try and keep the thing guiding in. Let's actually get it east again, but not gonna change my speed, heading or depth. Okay, let's accelerate time. He didn't detect.
Con, helm, steady course.
He didn't detect one. He might not detect the other one, although he is a little closer. Let's put maybe 1,000 yards separation, which could be useful. He still is behaving like he just hasn't detected it. Alright, I'm gonna start the attack run. Yep, I think that's good,
Con
right?
sonar launch transient from Sierra 1.
Okay, so hopefully, let's split to his view. He's firing.
Sonar launch transient from
Whoa.
Sierra 1.
Okay, that's 3 firing at me.
Sonar Sierra 1 is cavitating.
None of those appear to be a threat, which is good. So I'm going to go ahead and gently steer west. Steer west at 15 degrees. And yeah, none of those should be a threat. The westmost one is the closest to it, so we're going to turn west, keep the speed at 5 knots. Now, can he detect me? Yes, he probably can with his active sonar. But he's busy. He's very busy. I'm going to run this this torpedo active. Am I? Does he have anti-oil coating? He does, so there's no point unless I want to flush out anything else that might be in the area. But I have another torpedo going up there, so if there's just one trailing, just one following me, I should be okay. Oh, and something else. My torpedo's maximum speed's 35 knots. His maximum speed is 32 knots, so he's gonna have to turn if I'm gonna catch him easily. Go ahead and ping actively. See if we flush anything else out. So far so good, although look at him move. And turn again. Let's see, he's turning again. We're almost running at 27, heading 270. I'm cutting the corner with my torpedo. Let's see what's his depth. Yeah, he's changing his depth quite a lot. Gonna turn off active sonar.
Con sonar
There we
noisemaker
go.
bearing 145.
And we immediately detected, it immediately detected him when I turned off active sonar, which is kind of what I expect. That's okay. Right, now this is, right now, close to being a straightforward chase between a Tigerfish and a Victor 1. Let's see if we can watch this.
Con sonar, noisemaker, bearing 1, 3.
I'm going to go ahead and manually steer the torpedo. Just a little bit, and a little bit back. I'm going to...
Con, fire
There we
control,
go.
weapon acquired.
It's acquired him, so now it's got to catch him. It's got to catch him. I mean, it looks like it's going to, but then that separation is still enough.
Con sonar, noisemaker, bearing 1, 3, 5.
Manually steer it to help it along, just to guide it just a little bit. I reckon that's done it.
Con sonar,
Got him.
lost contact. Sierra
Okay.
1, last bearing 1, 3, 6. Contact breaking up.
Alright, so he is now lost and he is sinking. That's good. Let's jump back to my boat. I think we may have escaped any form of retribution. Okay, that's good. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and set a course for deep water.
Come right to 298, helm I.
I can't do anything about that trawler if it's going to catch one of these torpedoes. Oh, actually, I could try using a Moss, but this trawler may have had it, unfortunately. No. Gonna get my Todari in. Let's get up to 15 knots right now. We're gonna run it.
Turns for 15 knots.
Gonna run
Maneuvering
up. We're gonna run up to 20 knots because I think if anything heard that, they'll be on their way to investigate. And friendlies too. So yeah, let's accelerate time.
Con maneuvering, making turns for 15.
Looks like the
knots.
trawler has escaped, which is good. I really didn't want that on my conscience. Todari is still being pulled in. Okay. Look. Yep, Todari is now in, so let's run to 20 knots.
Make turns for 2. Con maneuvering, making turns for 20 knots.
It's noisy. Right, we're going to go ahead and turn back.
Come right to 049, helm I. Make
Go ahead and get
turns
my
for
Todari out.
15 knots, maneuvering I.
What I want to do is, I guess, essentially try and
Make turns for 20 knots.
clear my
maneuvering I.
baffles. So, of course, this thing does not turn quickly. I'll show you what I mean. We have a bit of an angle going on there. I'll put the speed back up to 20 knots. It'll help, but that's still not a quick turning. And that's if I use accelerate time. It's, I
Con
mean,
maneuvering, making turns for
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
it's not great. Okay. So that's speed down to 5 knots. Now that Todari is going to be listening, our crew's going to be listening, so I could do with being quiet. It'll get better when those torpedoes stop making a racket. Wow, they have a long range. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Anything out here? It's like we just had the one tail then. Yep, I think so. We can disengage. Right, well, that was fairly straightforward. When I set up the scenario, I gave the game the option to give me anywhere from 1 to 4 submarines of various qualities. We dipped really lucky into the pot this time, so I'm very happy with that. Resolution is an interesting boat to fight, but let's hope you got something from this. Not much to really say. The Victor didn't detect me, and so ultimately he paid the price. And I didn't have to engage with him, but I really wanted to sniff anything else out. Alright, well, thanks so much for hanging out today. Hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.